There's a major problem online right now. There is a lot of blog content filled with fluff and absolutely overhyped, and it's all getting you to buy the latest overpriced course. Now, for some of you, I understand this may be your first year of blogging, and it could be a real uphill battle, and your chances of creating binge-worthy content is slim. Well, in this video, I'm going to share 7 blog post writing tips to help you take your blog post writing a step higher, and that video is coming up. Hey, what's up, hustlers? Chris Morgan here with bloghustlers.com. Welcome to my channel, the channel where it's all about helping you build your blog, create awesome content, and helping others grow. Now, if this is your first time visiting my channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to stay up to date with the latest videos I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, tailor-made to help you build your blogging business. Now, the reality is starting a blog isn't never easy, as some bloggers may tell you. Now, blogging is a struggle even if you're in your first year. From coming up with ideas, setting schedules for your blog posts, having a dedicated publishing time, building a presence on social media, and getting constant traffic to your content, and on top of that, what are you selling? Now, this could be enough to frustrate the hell out of anybody. But wait a minute, there's a point to all of this. Now, writing blog posts takes time, and it's a valuable skill no matter what you're selling. So I broke it down into 7 tips to help you improve your blog post writing so that visitors can stay on your post longer, to increase your page views, build an audience through your content, and have more people sharing your content just because of how valuable it really is. Now, when you're able to do this, this will help you to drive more traffic to your affiliate products, your membership sites, and yes, your courses, or whatever it is that you're selling. So with that being said, let's get hustling. The first tip that I have for you is longer content is always better. Now, if you're new to blogging and want more visibility on your content, then you want to create long form content. Now, although creating long form content doesn't mean that your blog post will outrank someone's content if they created an 800-word blog post and you created an 1,800-word blog post. But writing long form content will help your blog post out in a few ways, as I will explain in a few minutes. Now, as I stated earlier, creating long form content doesn't mean that your blog post will automatically rank, but studies have shown that long form content gets a significant increase in page views. For example, I did a Google search on blog optimization and I analyzed 5 blog posts out of the top 6 blog posts, and the results was just as I thought. Now, I noticed that every blog post in the top 6 results was well over 2,000 words. The higher the search result, the more content that blog post has. So the actionable step for this tip is to perform a content analysis for the top 5 to 6 blog posts that are ranking. Analyze their content and see what they're talking about. Also think about what they're not talking about. Now, this can help your content to perform better in the search results, and not to mention help you to decrease your bounce rate on your blog posts and having more people to stay on your blog posts even longer. Now, but there's one thing that I want to point out. You should never copy anybody's blog post, as this will hurt your chances of ranking your blog post in the search results. You should always be focused on publishing original content. Now, to do a check and see if your content is original, you should run it through Copyscape. Now, I talked about how to do this in another video, so I'll be sure to put that video in the card above so you can check out how to do that. Now, the next tip that I have for you is having a proper URL structure. Writing a blog post that ranks in the search engines for any blog is the main goal to get eyes on your content.
He ain't lying.
But having a proper keyword structure is more important for SEO, and it also helps the user experience from having a short URL. Now, for example, if your blog post is about having the best DSLR camera for YouTube, then your URL would be your domain name, best DSLR camera for YouTube. Now, this not only helps Google to understand what your content is about because your keyword is in the URL, but it also helps readers to remember your URL much easier and increase the chances of your content getting shared organically on social media. So your actionable step for this tip is to log into your WordPress dashboard and configure your settings. Now, you can do this by choosing the settings and then choosing permalinks. Next, you want to scroll down and choose custom structures. Now, this gives you the best results possible for the WordPress platform. Now, choosing the custom structure is the best choice because they are consistent. So when it comes to your URL structures for SEO consistency, it's a must-have for the ranking process. The next tip that I have for you is Link to valuable external content. Now, bloggers are somewhat like journalists. You have to do research for each blog post that you write, and you have to have relevant resources that people trust that support what your content is about. So as an example, let's say that you want to add information about the best hosting platform statistics, but you didn't have anything on your blog about that particular topic. But you know there's another resource that's out there on the internet that was so good that you want to link to it and share it with your readers. Now, linking out to external pages from within your blog post can help your blog visitors to learn additional information to help further support your claim that your blog post is about. The biggest key point of all this, Google will start to take notice that you're linking out to authority sites, which can help you to improve your blog rank as well. Now, for this tip, your actionable step is to research what your blog post topic is about. Then start to take a deeper dive into things that are related to your blog post topic that you're writing about, and keep a list of 6 to 8 links that are relevant to your topic that are getting traffic. Now, the next tip that I have for you is choosing eye-catching images that stand out. A huge part of any type of content that's online are images. When people come to read your blog post, a quick way to turn people around from reading your blog post is to not have any images on your blog post and they see a huge wall of text. Now, having images in your content helps your SEO as well because it makes your content more engaging and more rich in media, which Google also prefers that's in your content. Use images in your post that makes more sense. I mean, you know exactly what I mean on this. So have you ever seen the clickbait image that's on YouTube and you thought that this content is going to be good, and it turned out that content really sucked? It was just garbage. Now, your blog post isn't any different, and you shouldn't use distracting images that take away from the blog post, but use images that complement the blog post or ones that can help convey your message better to your readers. Having images in your blog post is another great tool to help you impact or as well improve your SEO in your blog post. Now, you can make use of this by using the alt tag. Now, to do this in WordPress, click on the image and click the pencil icon. Fill in the alt text box with the keyword that you are targeting or a modified keyword. Another key point of using the alt text, this is what Google used to crawl the web for images. For example, if you have an image about email marketing and you title your alt tag with email marketing, when someone does an image search on Google for email marketing, your image has a higher chance of showing up. Now, this can bring more traffic to your blog post as well. Now, it's more effective than using default image name like image 153. Now, your goal should be to get people to read your content, not stare at your images unless you're running a photography blog or something else, right? Now, there are tons of free stock images websites that can help your blog post to stand out more, and not to mention convey your message a whole lot better. Now, these resources, I have these in the description below, so be sure to check them out and add some awesome images to your blog post. Now, the next tip that I have for you is clean up your blog post writing. Okay, so did you know that your blog post can rank low because of bad spelling? Now, a Google employee, Matt Cutts, explains this in the video.
But I think it would be fair to think about using it as a signal. So, for example, we noticed a while ago that if you look at the page rank of a page, so how reputable we think a particular page or site is, the ability to spell correlates relatively well with that. So the reputable sites tend to spell better, and the sites that are lower page rank or very low page rank tend not to spell as well.
Now, having bad grammatical errors in your content can cause you to miss out on brand opportunities. Can you imagine that a visitor on your website reached out to you to let you know that you misspelled something wrong, and that's the reason that they didn't read your post because it looks like you don't know what you're talking about? May feel like a punch in the stomach, right? Instead of looking at it like a punch in the stomach, think of it as a speed bump that will slow your reader down from reading your blog post. The truth is, people on the internet have very short attention spans, so the less grammatical errors or misspellings you have, the more likely they'll continue to read your blog post. But not only that, when writing your blog post, even if it's spelled correctly, sometimes your blog post can even be harder to understand from a 9th or even the 10th grade reading level. Now, one of my content tools that I like to use is Hemingway. Now, in another video, I talked about how I use this tool to help improve the readability score to help my blog post rank higher, to not only help my readers understand it, but it also helps Google to understand what my content is about better. So if you want to check that video out, that video is also in the card above. So the actionable step for this tip is to download Grammarly. Now, using Grammarly when you are writing your blog post will help you to decrease misspelling words in your blog post, and it'll actually help you to be more fluent in writing your blog post a whole lot better too. Now, the next tip that I have for you is find popular topics to blog about. Now, I talked about this topic in the previous video, but I want to take a different approach to it in this tip. Now, coming up with blog post topics can be overwhelming, but instead think of what your competition is doing. Now, start by asking yourself, what are their best topics? Now, to be honest, I like when I discover another website that I'm in competition with, because I can see what their most popular post is. Now, this helps me to gauge what I should be writing about in a much better way from a totally different approach while still writing original content. Now, you can find your competitors' most popular blog post by searching on Neil Patel's Traffic Analyzer, formerly known as Ubersuggest. Now, before it was free, but it has a pricing plan of $10 a month. Now, the free version allows you to only see the top 10 blog posts that are the most popular. The reason you want to do this is because your competition has already proved that this topic works, and it also brings a consistent amount of traffic. But the trick to doing this is to write a bigger and better blog post, and as well do some blogger outreach to help your blog post perform better. So for this step, my actionable tip is for you to analyze your competition and write down their top 10 blog posts. But every blogger should have 10 or more people that they're in competition with, and this will help you to get up to 100 blog post topics that you know that are already proven. So last but not least, the last tip that I have for you is setting up your internal linking structure. Now, believe it or not, it's easy to get caught up in the best SEO tips for writing a better blog post. But one of the biggest mistakes that bloggers often make that can hurt them down the road is not having an internal linking structure. So a good way for you to think about this. Now, think of your SEO as the skin that's around our bodies. And your internal linking structure is the bone structure, and it's the muscle that the skins form around. Now, your content should be used as a roadmap to guide your readers back to other content that you have published. Now, this will help your audience to understand what your content is about, and it will also help them to understand your content as well, helping them to answer their questions a whole lot better. So think of it this way. If you didn't have a GPS and you were lost, and all you had was a map, the most logical thing to do is to use the map, right? Your internal linking structure is the same way. Now, in the blog post that I read by another amazing blogger, her name is Julia McCoy, and I'll be sure to leave her YouTube channel in the description below. She spoke heavily on internal linking, and in that post she showed what internal linking structure looked like. Now, there are 3 main reasons that you should be using internal linking structure. For one, it improves the user experience to help people navigate your website better, which leads me to a big one out of all of this. It also helps Google spiders to crawl your website better. It increases the chances of your pages ranking in the search engines. Now, the reason it helps your page to increase in ranking the search engines is because it gets more link juice. So think of it this way. The more pages that you link to one page, like the main page that's on your website will be your home page. And that's the main one that get all the links that's coming to it. So think of it that way. That's the main one. That's the most powerful link that's on your website, which will be your home page, because you have every link that's linking to that page. So for this tip, my actionable step for you would be to start with broad topics or categories. So as an example, if your blog was about YouTube, then your broad topic would be on YouTube and covering everything that's about that topic on YouTube, meaning YouTube description, YouTube keywords, YouTube SEO, things like that. Now, a great example of this is Brian Dean, the Backlinko, which you heard me talk about plenty of times. Now, he built a page that's called the Hub. Now, as you can see on the screen, his broad topic is about SEO and did a deep internal linking on the page that covers many topics that are related to SEO. Topics such as on-page SEO, off-page SEO, LSI keywords. Now, if you have a WordPress website, now this can be done by creating a custom post type and calling it whatever you want. So in Brian Dean's case, he called it a hub. Now, since this page covers multiple topics, This will take you some time to build up content, but it will greatly impact your SEO score and helping you rank on any keyword that's on that hub page or whatever you want to call it. So for example, now previously you just saw we went on Brian Dean's hub page. So here I go in incognito mode to get an accurate result and to start with broad topics that are super competitive to rank for and getting a ton of traffic for as well. Now these topics are SEO, SEO best practices, and LSI keywords. Now as you can see, each one of these keywords are ranking on the first page of Google simply because it has link juice going to that main page, powering up all of those links that's on that page. Now do this to create a better and stronger internal linking structure. So if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet and you're interested in building your blog, increasing your traffic, and growing an engaged audience to take your blogger business to the next level, then consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest videos I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, tailor-made to help you build your blogger business. So if you're ready to grow your blog and want new content strategies for your blog, then I put together a short playlist right here that goes in great detail and show you how to create solid content for your blog. Now, as always, guys, I appreciate you. Keep making awesome content, keep hustling, and I'll see you in the next one.